Welcome back to our channel, where we dive into the fascinating world of coins and currency from across the globe. Today, we're going on a journey into America history. In the rich history of American coinage, few coins have captured the imagination of collectors and historians like the Buffalo nickel. Officially known as the Indian head nickel, this 5-cent piece was minted from 1913 until 1938 and remains one of the most beloved designs in United States numismatics. Among the years of its production, the 1935 Buffalo nickel stands out as a fascinating piece of American history, representing not only the artistry of its design but also the cultural and economic backdrop of the Great Depression. In this video, we'll dive deep into the world of the 1935 Buffalo nickel. We'll explore its origins, its artistic design, the story of its creators, its role in the everyday lives of Americans during the 1930s, its varieties and mint marks, and finally its lasting collectible value. By the end, you'll understand why this simple 5-cent coin is considered a true icon of American coinage, the birth of the Buffalo nickel, the need for change. By the early 1900s, the U.S. Mint wanted to modernize coinage designs. The Liberty head nickel, introduced in 1883, had grown outdated. President Theodore Roosevelt, a champion of artistic coinage, believed U.S. coins should reflect the nation's identity more boldly. The artist behind the coin. The task of redesigning the nickel went to James O. Fraser, a talented sculptor who had studied under the great Augustus St. Gaudens. Fraser was deeply inspired by Native American culture and the untamed spirit of the American West. Fraser's vision was clear: to create a coin that would be unmistakably American. Unlike previous designs that borrowed heavily from classical European themes, the Buffalo nickel would reflect the nation's own history and heritage. The design of the Buffalo nickel. The obverse, the Native American portrait on the front side of the coin, is a bold, detailed portrait of a Native American man. Fraser stated that this portrait was not of a single person, but a composite inspired by several chiefs, including Iron Tail of the Lakota Sioux, Two Moons of the Cheyenne, and possibly John Big Tree of the Seneca Nation. The profile was strong, proud, and uniquely American. Across the top reads the word Liberty, and at the bottom, the date, 1935, is inscribed. The reverse, the American bison. The back of the coin features an American bison, commonly referred to as a buffalo. Fraser likely used Black Diamond, a buffalo housed at the Central Park Zoo in New York, as his model. The inscription reads, United States of America, and the motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one. The denomination is clearly marked as 5 cents. The design was rugged and distinctly American, but it posed challenges for the mint. The high relief caused rapid wear, and the denomination, 5 cents, was prone to fading, leading to design adjustments over the years. The 1935 issue and its historical context. The Great Depression era. The 1935 Buffalo nickel was minted during one of the most difficult economic periods in U.S. history, the Great Depression. Millions of Americans were unemployed, banks were failing, and money was scarce. For many Americans, a nickel in 1935 had real purchasing power. It could buy a loaf of bread, a ride on public transit, or a glass of soda. The Buffalo nickel was truly a coin of the people. Mint locations and varieties. The 1935 Buffalo nickel was struck at 3 different U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; San Francisco, S mint mark. The mint mark can be found beneath the words 5 cents on the reverse of the coin. Production numbers: Philadelphia Mint. Over 58 million nickels were struck in 1935. Denver Mint. Around 12 million nickels were struck. San Francisco Mint. About 10 million nickels were struck. In total, more than 80 million nickels were minted in 1935, making it a relatively high mintage year. Despite this, well-preserved examples are still scarce today due to the coin's tendency to wear quickly in circulation. Errors and varieties. Collectors often seek out error coins, and the 1935 Buffalo nickel does not disappoint. Some notable varieties include double die obverse, 1935 DDO, where parts of the lettering or the date appear doubled; repunched mint marks, RPMs, especially on Denver and San Francisco issues; die cracks and cuds, common due to the heavy use of dies during the Depression-era production. These varieties can significantly increase a coin's value for collectors. The end of the Buffalo nickel. By the mid-1930s, the Buffalo nickel was nearing the end of its life. The design, though beloved, had caused technical problems at the mint from the very beginning. Dies wore out too quickly, and the design was difficult to strike sharply. In 1938, the Buffalo nickel was replaced by the Jefferson nickel, designed by Felix Schlag, which celebrated the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and his home, Monticello. The change marked the end of an era, but the Buffalo nickel remained a symbol of American artistry. Collectability and value of the 1935 Buffalo nickel. Circulated value. Most 1935 Buffalo nickels that survive today are well worn. In circulated condition, they are often worth just a few dollars. Higher grades in uncirculated condition, however, their value increases significantly. A 1935 Philadelphia issue in mint state MS 65 can fetch several $100s. The 1935 D and 1935 S, while scarcer, are also highly desirable in high grades. Rare varieties. The 1935 double die obverse is the most famous variety. Depending on condition, it can be worth thousands of dollars to the right collector. The Buffalo nickel's cultural legacy. The Buffalo nickel is more than just a coin. It's a piece of Americana. It symbolizes the frontier spirit, the resilience of native peoples, and the importance of the buffalo in U.S. history. Even after its circulation ended, the design has been celebrated on modern U.S. commemorative coins and bullion, such as the American Buffalo Gold coin introduced in 2006. Its enduring appeal lies in the way it captures the essence of America in the early 20th century, proud, rugged, and uniquely its own. Conclusion: why the 1935 Buffalo nickel matters. The 1935 Buffalo nickel represents more than just 5 cents of currency. It is a coin that tells the story of America, its struggles during the Depression, its artistic ambitions, and its respect for the land and the people who shaped it. For collectors, it remains an accessible yet historic coin. For historians, it's a window into the 1930s. And for the everyday American, it's a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry immense cultural weight. The Buffalo nickel may have disappeared from circulation in 1938, but its legacy endures. And the 1935 issue, minted at a pivotal time in American history, will forever remain a cherished piece of numismatic heritage.